about the courageous community. I want to talk to you today about the courageous community. I have been inspired by action ever since I got intimately engaged beyond seeing a newspaper article or, some TV interview, actually going to meetings and seeing their work and seeing how they have made the choice to not just talk about the issues that affect and afflict us, but put their boots to the ground to make change in those areas. Talk really is cheap. Matter of fact, it's worth just about nothing. It really is. Because so much has been added to the conversation, so much has been piled on in commentary and opinion and perspective, there's really no room to say anything else about what's wrong. There's really not much else to say about what's wrong. Thousands of newspaper articles, books, sermons have been preached, meetings have been held, all types of focus groups and studies have been accomplished, and truth be told, we know what problems we have. The question is not, do we have a problem, because the answer is yes. Many of them. The question is not, do we have people who are being affected by problems, because the answer is yes. The question is anybody going to do anything about it? Whether it's injustice, inequality, the drug epidemic, economic distress, exploitation, educational issues with our children, the breakdown of the family, the abandonment of common values that once held us together as a people. What are we going to do about it? And I would suggest to you today that it requires a courageous community. Courage is defined as the quality of mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulty, danger, pain, without fear, and with bravery. Maya Angelou said courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage you can't practice any other virtue consistently. I remember when I built up the courage to go say hi for the first time to the young lady that I thought was the cutie at the football game. At Warren G. Harding, under the stands, after I had undressed for my band uniform. I was a band nerd, and all sweaty with my little short shorts on and my little t-shirt, you know how we used to do. And say hi. It took me courage. There weren't enough friends, there weren't enough encouraging words, there weren't enough, hype, go on ahead, man. Man, she looking at you. There wasn't enough of that to make me go speak to her until I developed the courage within myself to go approach her. Thank God for courage. Amen. Courage saved my life. Gave me a beautiful family and a wonderful wife. Even all of the other qualities that we often attribute to a good and just and whole society, like love and patience and mercy and grace and peace and unity, require courage. It requires more courage to walk away from a fight than it is to jump into one. It requires more courage to pursue peace than it does to start a war. It requires more courage to decide not to take on a position or some status or title that you may be unqualified for than it does to just simply go with the crowd and believe the hype of your own bubble and jump into endeavors that are far beyond your pay grade and mindset. It requires more courage to say no than it does to say yes. I would suggest that courage is the distant yet altogether necessary companion to compassion. It does no good to care about a thing if you have not developed the courage to do something about what you care about. And all of us have sat back and watched poverty and strife and violence and brokenness occur around us and tell the world how much we care about it. Empty our lungs of breath and our minds of words and our blood of its energy to convince everybody how much we are feeling the compassion and pain and strife and struggle of those around us who are suffering and in trouble. Yet it takes courage as its natural companion to actually get up and do something about it. In the Bible, because that's all I know, Joshua receives this command of God. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That word courageous, that word courage in the text comes from the Hebrew word amatz. It means to be alert, physically and mentally. It means that you cannot escape awareness of the troubles and trials that surround you, and you cannot be content with allowing things to remain the way they are. Reminds me of a character from the Bible named Nehemiah, who walked around sullen and sad and depressed and distressed, and his own king, who had taken him in as a servant, said, "What is your problem? You ought not to be up in my court looking like this." And he said, "I'm sorry, king, I ain't got no smiles today because my people are in distress, and I won't be happy until it's better." It also means to be steadfastly minded, strong and established, fortified and hardened, to cause oneself to increase or blow up or swell up. You know how folk get swole. Father's your boy, think he grown, and he give you that one little puff. Yeah, that one little piece of bird chest. You got to show him. Y'all. It means to strengthen one's self from their inner being, to make strong, to increase in speed, a heart rate increase, to prepare one to attack a task head on. That is courage. And one thing we need more in this world is courage. Amen. Some of our communities are failing not because we don't have enough money, but because we don't have enough courage. We have allowed political, economic, and educational systems to run amok right before our very eyes, not because we don't have the collective power to do something about it, but because we do not possess the courage to speak to it and work on it. Amen. Anybody can holler at a TV and mutter at a radio show, but it takes somebody to walk out their front door and confront the struggles and the problems that we face every day. Anybody can talk back to people who can't talk back to you, but it takes courage to show your face at the school board meeting, at City Hall, on the corner where they're selling drugs, by the dope house. It takes courage to even speak to dead religious institutions that are not living up to their creed and their faith and the promise of the Bible and the God that called them. It takes courage to say, "I will not support nor placate people who speak the right things but do the wrong things." It takes courage. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we need more courage. Yes, sir. Like the Cowardly Lion, my wife's favorite movie. He could huff and he could puff, he could roar, but when the fight went down, when his life was on the line, when a threat was apparent, he always shrunk back. Ran, hightailed it out. The king of the jungle, turning out to be the chump of Oz. And here we are, full of intelligence, vigor, faith, and boldness, but only when we're around comfortable crowds and amenable associates and agreeable friends. It's easy to talk to folk that you're going to get an easy amen out of. But it's harder to speak to people who might spit and mock and curse and threaten you and put your very life and livelihood on the line for what you claim to be your conviction. I've come to learn that if you don't have courage, you don't truly have a conviction. Because anybody can claim to believe in anything until they're tested by it. And when you're tested by it, that's when it shows whether you have a conviction. And that shows whether or not you have courage. Now in the text, it would appear that God is talking to Joshua alone, but he's talking by representative federal speech, if you would, from Joshua to the whole of Israel. Because Joshua was not going to be the only one going on this journey and endeavoring to cross over to better places and better lands. He had to take a whole people with him. Meaning that whatever God told him, he was going to have to share and expect out of those who were with him. The message is that no one can do it alone. No one in their own courage and own boldness can change the world and transform our communities for the better. I know that we hold to a Superman mentality, and truth be told, it doesn't come from Superman, but it really comes from the citizens. Because it is the citizens, it is the congregants, it is the community members who wait for the next hero to step up so that he can do all the work, do all the talking, so that she can do all the advocating and all the fighting, and they can also take all the pain, all the punishment, and eventually all the death. So we can have another holiday, put up another statue, quote them on Facebook, and go back to the status quo. But we are not looking for a Superman. We're looking for a super people. We're looking for courageous communities. We're looking for people who will band together arm to arm and heart to heart and breast to breast and shoulder to shoulder to say that if my brother is concerned, I am concerned. And if my brother will fight, I will fight. And if my sister will march, I will march. And if our kids are hurting, all of our kids are hurting. And if black kids ain't getting the education, ain't nobody getting the education. And if gays and lesbians are being mistreated, everybody's being mistreated. Because courage tells me I can love folk even if I don't live like them.
Amen. Amen.
I'm done. Thank you for listening. But I come to tell you, no one person can do everything.
Amen.
But everyone can do something.
Yes, sir.
Touch your neighbor and ask him, what's your something? What's your something? It might be tutoring at the school. It might be feeding the hungry. It might be giving a college kid a chance. It might be taking care of the old lady down the street. But whatever your something is, muster up the courage to go do it. Stop sitting on your desk waiting for somebody else to do what God called you and only you to do. Get some courage.
Amen.
And Youngstown won't be the same. Get some courage.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
the
sir.
Morning Valley will turn around pretty good.
Change.
Three things about courage that I've got to tell you. Number one, it affirms action, the unalienable right of every human being to live with dignity, even when political beliefs, faith positions, and lifestyle choices cause disagreement. I still want you to live with dignity, in safety, and in harmony, and in prosperity with your brothers and sisters of our community. Number two, a courageous community advocates for the poor and the oppressed at the expense of popularity and accolades. Because when you really take the side of the oppressed, you will pitch yourself against folk that are doing the oppressing. But don't be discouraged, because you put your side on the one who loves the oppressed. Because God is always on the side of the oppressed. He's always on the side of the broken, of the disenfranchised. He's always on the side of the abused and the mistreated and the exploited. And when you get on God's side, you can't lose.
There you go.
Finally, a courageous community speaks truth to power, even if it threatens your relationship with it. We like to be cozy with powerful people. We like to take pictures and shake hands with people in power. But as much as I love my brothers and my sisters, and they know I do, if ever the time comes where we must disagree on an issue that directly affects the welfare, the safety, and the dignity and prosperity of the least among us, then Doug, I love you, but I love my God more. Mr. Tito, I love you, but I have to follow the Bible more than I love political power. I got to be willing for congressmen and commissioners and mayors and 45 himself to hate me and tweet about me and talk about me and know that ain't no earthly power here can truly come to me when I got heavenly power standing up. And I wish I had somebody in a banquet hall that understands that sometimes you got to speak truth to power. Sound the alarm and blow the trumpet so that they know we mean business. My brothers and my sisters, when our voices and actions, resources and passions are united behind a common cause, it produces a mighty crescendo of human force that taps into the power of heaven itself and produces the clarion call of God crying out for justice, mercy, compassion, and dignity for all. And when our voices are united and our efforts are consolidated, when our steps are in lockstep with one another, when our hearts are knit together and our minds are on the same track, we produce a cry in the city, a cry in the county, a cry in the state that cannot be ignored, a cry that cannot be denied, a cry that demands a response, and a cry that forces accountability. It is a cry that says we will not be moved like the tree planted by the rivers of water. Until every child has a quality education, we gonna keep on crying. Until every person can have a fair shot at housing, we gonna keep on crying. Until healthcare is accessible and affordable to every citizen, we gonna keep on crying. Until our babies can eat healthy food in their own neighborhood, we gonna keep on crying. Until we dignify the rights of women and gays and lesbians and Christians and Muslims and Jews and agnostics the same way, we gonna keep on crying. We're gonna cry, we're gonna act, we're gonna march, we're gonna jump, we're gonna shout, we're gonna vote until our change comes.
Amen.
Winston Churchill said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Where is your courage? We don't need another courageous preacher. We don't need another courageous politician. We don't need another courageous superstar athlete.
No.
We need a courageous community that will not lay down until all of us are free indeed. God bless you and God keep you is my prayer.